Could it really be I was not ready? You were waiting for me. Well, I was waiting for you patiently. Would you please save me and take me home? Who knew heart's desire?
Hi, my name's Miss Jamil. I'm a Year 4 teacher at Whitmore Primary School. I've worked here for 4 years as a Year 4 teacher for 2 and Year 2 teacher for 2 years, and I'm also in charge of music for the school. So being a teacher is one of the hardest jobs you can ever do. It's very demanding. It has many different faces. You're an educator, a carer, a performer, a script writer, a creator of resources and all different things. But at the same time, it's one of the most rewarding and enjoyable jobs that someone can do, I believe, because every day is completely different. All of the children are different characters and wonderful to be around. And there's nothing more rewarding than helping someone learn something new or see a skill within themselves. So I think it's a job that, is very, very difficult, but at the same time, fantastic. So being a teacher is really difficult because of the time, really. There's a lot of work to complete and it doesn't seem that there's enough hours in the day. I know that with my city year, Sahel, sometimes it might seem that I may not have time for him, but actually I have all the time in the world. It's just other things are on my mind. So being a teacher, that's one of the greatest problems, really, is being able to fit everything into the school day and obviously in the evenings as well. Lots of different jobs, lots of rushing around, preparing resources in the morning, getting everything set up, having the books marked before the children come in on that day, making sure the next lesson everything's tidied up for the next lesson, and then doing the same again. The day is filled with many, many different jobs and challenges, and it can sometimes seem very hectic, which it is. But I feel that having a core member as a member of the class is really helpful, because having someone to support you and help the children is great, because it's a difficult job to do as a one-man band. So having someone there with you is really great. And even though sometimes it seems that there's not enough time to discuss maybe the day and what's happened and to reflect, you just have to feel confident to ask your teacher questions. So a very difficult time in my teaching career was when there was one student who was really struggling with his behaviour. Every day was a real issue and struggle. Lots of fights and incidents, not listening to instructions, not learning, and I felt that there was nothing that I could do. I felt like I was fighting a losing battle every day. It was the same kind of thing. The children were missing out on their learning because of his disruptive behaviour, and he wasn't learning anything. And I just kind of felt, this is getting to a point where I don't know if I can do the job anymore. It's so difficult and stressful, upsetting for myself, for all the people involved. But in the end, working with other members of the school, the senior management team and partner teachers, parents, and the child involved himself, in the end, he was managed to go to a different school that better suited his needs, and I think he's doing really well, and the problem was resolved in the end. So if I was to give 4 pieces of advice to core members, I would say, first of all, read up on your school, so make sure that you know about the policies and the behaviour, how they deal with behaviour and different, art, how they teach art, music. It's good to kind of understand how the school works and what their ethos is. That's a really good start. It's because every school across the country, across the borough even, is completely different from each other. They're all very, very unique. So I'd say it's important to kind of read up on how that school works and how that school deals with certain things. I would say to be yourself is very important, but at the same time as being yourself, be firm, because it's important that the children respect you and look at you as an adult. I think sometimes if you're too friendly, they could maybe look at you as more of a child and a friend than an adult. My third piece of advice, I would say that if you're never be scared to ask questions, even if your teacher or someone else seems far too busy and that they're not, in the right place to be answering any questions or have any time. they're always there for you. It's just you need to kind of probe them, because teachers get lost in their own bubble of, you know, marking and whatnot. So just always ask questions, because we want you to do that. And my fourth piece of advice would be to have fun, because even the time will go very quickly. I've heard core members say before, you know, it seems like a few months I've been here. And even though it's very difficult in the beginning when you're learning everything new and you're finding out how everything works, you need to also try and enjoy it, because I think it's a really fantastic experience that you're so lucky to have, because it's you know, a wonderful world, a school, working with different children and adults in this kind of environment. So yeah, have fun.